Yo, what up guys, it's Coach Mike back with a new video, and today I'm going to talk about what Andrew Tate did wrong in his boxing match against Chase Dumore. So I've been kickboxing for about 20 years now. I've done Muay Thai, kickboxing, I've done boxing myself as well, and I've even done point fighting. And coming from a kickboxing background, I saw almost right away by round 2 and 3 what Andrew Tate was doing wrong, because as a kickboxer, we tend to have a tendency to stand a little bit too upright. So even when we try to imitate, or not imitate I should say, even though we try to get into a boxing stance, we try to be here, our natural instincts kind of kick back in, and we tend to get a little bit too upright and stand like this, right? And that's what I saw from Tate, was his legs were kind of straight, he was flat-footed, he didn't have a bounce to his step, he didn't have a rhythm, and kickboxers, we're notorious for having our chin in the air like this. Like when we get pressured and we get hurt with the punches, we tend to do this. Our legs kind of go straight, and we're here like this, when we actually need to be a little bit more here. Keep the hands a little bit tighter, or have it like have your guard down a little bit lower. You can block, dip, go side to side, roll under. From Tate, I didn't see him slip. I didn't see him bob and weave. I didn't see him pivot. He pretty much just stood there and just took big shots that he didn't really need to take. So the first round, he did start off pretty decent the first round. He was going to the body. What I figured he was gonna do was gonna go to the body, We call it kind of going to the bank. Boom, going to the body, and then we cash out. We pump fake to the body, and then come up top with the hook to the head. So that's what I thought he was gonna do, but I didn't really see any of that. And I was just so shocked that he got gassed that quick, because you see all the sparring footage. He's sparring like 50 guys in Dubai. He's on the treadmill, he's jumping rope, he's training, he's constantly doing pad work. And while we're on the subject, that's one thing that I noticed too, is he's probably spending more time doing pad work than he did the road work, because there's no reason he should have got that tired. Like, I don't think he just put in the road work. He didn't do the sprints, didn't do the hill runs, or do the stair runs. I think he kind of just spent most of his time just doing pad work. And there's even a clip of him doing pad work on a jet, which is actually pretty baller. But that's the biggest thing I saw, was his cardio wasn't there. He didn't have the bounce, he didn't have the rhythm. He wasn't dipping, going to the side, bobbing and weaving, or anything like that. And I think part of the problem is he's just really loyal to his kickboxing coach, which I totally understand. Like I said, I've been kickboxing a long time, especially when a kickboxing coach comes into your life early on and they get you during those like formative years, and they almost become like a second father figure to you. So it's really hard to kind of break away from them, because sometimes you feel like you're being slightly disloyal. I mean, of course, you can go to other gyms and work with other people as well, but you always have a sweet spot for that coach that really guided you and it helped you out when you were younger. So I think that's part of it. So I think it would have benefited him if he would have gotten with a more professional boxing team, and he could have gotten his footwork down, could have got his head movement down, and definitely keep that chin down. Like again, like kickboxers and Muay Thai fighters, we're notorious for keeping your chin up a little bit too high and having that high stance. It's kind of like our default. We just kind of go back to it. Like we try to get low, but we just naturally kind of start doing this. And another thing I saw was he was not he wasn't combination punching very well. Like he was going, cross to the body, jab to the body, but he really wasn't putting together combinations. I don't think I saw a 1, 2, 3. I didn't think I saw a jab, cross, hook. I didn't see a cross, hook, cross. I didn't see an uppercut, hook, cross. I didn't even see a 4, just a classic jab, cross, hook, cross. Like I didn't see any of that. And it was just really shocking. And Chase would just go in, he'd throw those big, windy, loopy, like kind of like Don Flamenco uppercuts, like from Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and he would catch them. And that's one of the things too, is when you go against somebody that isn't quite as experienced as you, sometimes it's a harder fight, because they move in a way you don't expect. They don't throw like traditional classic combinations. They throw kind of awkward loopy punches, and oftentimes you get caught, and they have like an off time, unintentional broken rhythm. So the more they jerk and move like this, the more it kind of makes you jerk and kind of move too. So I think that was probably part of it. He probably wasn't used to being in the clinch. And that's one thing that he should have worked with a boxing coach, was when you're in tight like this. For example, let's say this is my opponent, where he's leaning on me, he's coming out, turning, boom, and shuffle stepping this way, or getting his head off to the side, and he turns, boom, go right here. So I didn't really see any of that. So I think that was the biggest thing, is one, he probably didn't do his road work. He spent too much time doing pad work with his trainer, and he probably felt kind of a sense of loyalty to his team, when he really should have reached out and outsourced. Because I even heard that Roy Jones Jr. and other boxers reached out to him, and he really should have took him up on that, because yes, like kickboxing and you got your team, they can help you. However, in my personal experience, is if you only try to box with other kickboxers and then you try to go and spar an actual real boxer, it is, oh my gosh, it is an eye opener. Because I remember one time I was doing some boxing sparring with a real boxer, and guys, I kid you not, almost everything I threw at him, he just slipped, duck, roll. It was like I was boxing Neo. Everything I threw, he was just like boop, boop, roll, beam, boom, boom. I think I hit him with maybe like 3 clean punches the whole time. We did about 3 rounds. And there's just levels to this. And there's certain things that you miss when you're kickboxing because you have so many more weapons. You know, you can throw your teep, right? Boom. You know, if you're sparring with elbows, obviously have elbow pads on. You can throw your elbows, you can clinch, you can lock up, you can push out, throw your kicks, right? Throwing your knees. You kind of miss that, the finer points of fighting on the inside when you're boxing because you're in tight. Obviously, you only have 2 weapons. You're on the inside, you're moving, you got to work. You got to be really creative, like hitting your shuffle steps, boom, cutting your angles, boom. And you kind of miss that when you're kickboxing because as soon as you get in tight and you lock in, immediately you're going to start throwing knees, possibly elbows. You'll be trying to turn, throw your knee strikes, push off, boom, throwing your kicks, right? So you miss those finer points. And I think that's what Andrew Tate missed. And this is kind of crazy to see that he has that much money, that much resources, that many people around him, and he just did not hire a boxing coach. And he did come out with, he did say that, I'm not making any excuses, but then he did come out with a whole like laundry list of excuses. And one of them was he even basically blamed God for him gassing out and losing the fight. So he said some kind of peculiar things. So in the next video, I'm gonna break down some of the things that he said. And I think all of us can learn from it. All right, guys, Coach Mike signing out. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys.